going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky, I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a great Thursday so far. Last day of the week before Friday. It's Friday Eve. I hope you guys had a great day. I hope you guys have had a great week so far. You guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out. All right, what do I've got tonight? I've got a Judge Simpson clip, a Judge Stevens clip, and then I can never remember the judge's name out of Washington. You'll see it. You'll see it. It's at the end. And her name's listed there, so I'll remember when I see it. Of course I will. Anyways, yes, Bacon, thank you so much for the shout out. If I wasn't doing a live, I'd be hanging out with Artie with you guys too, but he did shout me out, so I appreciate that. Welcome to everyone that came over from Biggin. Welcome to everyone who just hanging out. Yeah, you guys want to watch some court? I want to watch some court. The first one is a Judge Simpson clip. Like I said, this did happen last week. It's kind of been, it's made its rounds. It's made its rounds. I didn't realize I haven't covered it yet. So, Jordan, this video, it's a really good one. You're going to like it. If you haven't seen it already, you're going to love it. If you have seen it, it's always worth a second watch. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
How's the case? People versus D'Amico Cummings.
Good morning or good afternoon. This is Public Defender Lawrence Perry on behalf of Mr. Cummings. Cummings, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. D'Amico Cummings for the Ritz.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Cummings is before the court for a violation of probation hearing. Mr. Cummings did have a prior VOP hearing on June 12th. At that date, the court had ordered him to serve 10 days in jail for his violations to date. Mr. Cummings failed to report to the jail as the court ordered him to do that, and the bench warrant was issued. He has been since picked up on the warrant and has been in custody. At this time, Mr. Cummings is still in the same situation he was on June 12th. He still has a balance of $1,255. He's made no payments to the court. He failed to complete the level 2 driver rehab program, failed to complete 100 hours of community service. He has another new pending case since June 12th, an alleged R&O, date of offense, July 22nd, 2024. He does have a PCC on August 1st in that case. So the court is also aware Mr. Cummings does have another pending case on 14B. It is a domestic violence case. He goes for sentencing on that on Monday. That is not a violation of this case. It happened prior to his sentencing. However, he also, in that case, had a bond violation as he violated the no contact order in that case. That will be addressed at their sentencing hearing as well. Mr. Cummings, in this case, Your Honor, it started as a felony case. We did get him sentenced in it. However, prior to all of that, getting him to sentencing in January, he had multiple failure to appears before this court. He continues not to follow court order. Given that he has demonstrated that he does probation is recommending that he serves 365 days in jail, credit for 85 days that he served to date, to serve the balance, that he complete the in-jail MRT program with the court to consider early release upon his completion with that, and that he be discharged from probation without improvement with and waiving remaining terms, accepting his financial obligations.
You know, I did have a lengthy conversation with Mr. Cummings yesterday. He does admit that he messed up on probation.
So he admits to these violations.
Yes, except for the pending cases for obvious reasons. He wants to ask the judge for mercy in this situation. He would like for his probation to be reinstated. He said he is willing to comply with probation and get done what he needs to do. However, he does want to take responsibility for not doing what he needs to do over the past couple months. So when I asked him what's been going on, he kind of gave me a litany of things.
Oh, I can't pass up on that. When she asked him what's been going on, what's going on, hopefully she said it like that. If she said it like that, then he knew what was up. He really did. Also, once again, thank you everyone for hanging out with us tonight.
He cares for his 5-year-old son, who is going to kindergarten in the fall. He also has a baby on the way. His partner due the 14th, but really the baby.
Legal, it was your birthday yesterday? Wait, what? Is that true? Is that true, Legal Fiction? Was it your birthday yesterday? Well, you're saying thank you, so I'm gonna assume it was your birthday. Thank you. Thank you for making another revolution around the sun with us. I don't know why I said thank you. That was the first words that came out of my mouth. But happy birthday, Legal Fiction. You don't look a day over 12. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but seriously, happy birthday, Legal Fiction.
He can come any day. Those two things, as well as his job, he's working Amazon night shift 40 hours a week, essentially distracted him from taking care of what he needs to do on this probation. He does live with his mother and his partner, as well as his children, so he does have a support system. He says he can make payments. He is working full time, and he does have some savings that he can put a pretty substantial payment toward his fines and costs. He said his mom can come up and pay $1,000 before he even is released from jail. He mentioned to me that he has been successful in other probations, and thinks he can be successful here if the court is willing to give him another chance.
How'd he get picked up on this warrant?
The police came to your apartment for an unrelated matter. And Mr. Cummings would like to make a statement. He wrote down.
Did you have something, Ms.
Sure,
Polera,
I just
before he?
wanted to say, when the police did arrive at the apartment, it was for an unrelated matter, and I believe that he ran, and that's where the new R&O case came from.
Go ahead.
I want to start like this and say I do got a 4-year-old about to be 5 in October, about to start school this fall. I got a daughter due any day this month. I was working a night shift at Amazon, 40 hours a week, 10 hours and 30 minutes a day. I was laying down on my side, didn't look at it as a punishment, but I looked at it as an opportunity to do better and be better and get my life together. I can't have warrants and actually be responsible for my son and get to school every day or even to a bus. Please don't punish me or revoke my probation. I think y'all can actually help me do and be better. I signed up for Michigan Reenters to try to get back in school and see what college is like, even though it seemed like I haven't been trying. That's something me and my probation officer spoke about. I can and I'm willing to do extra classes like MRT free and on probation. I'll pay to start my driving class before I'm even released, if considered. And if you can take thought that I'm on probation for being a victim in a car accident I was in or at fault for, I went to the hospital with bad injuries, just as everybody else. Like, please, Your Honor, I've been getting dealt a bad hand, and I'll just try to be the best I can and resolve every issue the best way possible. Honestly, I'm not the best, but also not the worst. Like, please, Your Honor, I beg you, please, can I have one more chance to show y'all I actually had a bump in the road and I had to get over it, please. If you see me again, you can revoke my probation, give me a year or anything. Like, I really do and truly apologize for the confusion and decisions I've left you and my probation officer to ponder with. But I really have just been working, trying to be there for my son and the mother of my child that's currently pregnant. Like, please don't punish me yet, but give me one more chance. Like, I'm actually a full-time father and my son stays with me. I can't imagine just leaving my son out the blue like this. He missed me as we speak and think I'm on vacation. I'm going to be a full-time dad to my daughter too, that's due. This is the first time you see me for a reinstatement and the last time if possible. I do anything to be there when my daughter is born and put my name on the birth certificate. I watched my son go off to start his first day of school. Your Honor, I plead and please, I do anything, even if it was double my community service, double my restitution, and add extra classes. I do it and complete it all. If you can, please consider everything I said and give me a chance. It would be the biggest and best blessing. I know I haven't paid yet, but I thought I had time to. I had kids, house, and life things to take care of. I haven't started my driver class because I was supposed to start it a month after being released, but I didn't have a job or was told that I had to pay to start it after being released. I know I haven't started my community service, but I checked in the places that let me serve the community legally to get this out the way. If I can, please have one more chance to show y'all. You wouldn't regret it, I promise. But that's all I have to say and ask of Your Honor, sincerely.
Oh, I love the facial expression Judge Simpson makes. Look at this. Like, I paused at the perfect position. It looks like he's sleeping. All right. I will say this. Until he flipped the page over, wasn't the worst statement he could have made. You know, we're going to hear why what he said doesn't really matter here in a second, but it wasn't the worst statement. I've heard a lot worse. I've heard a few better and a lot worse. So it was up there for decent until he flipped that page over. That's my opinion on his statement. Also, before I play, thank you so much, Tammy, for the 4 months. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Tammy. I appreciate it.
Cummings, here's my problem. On September 13th, you were set, well, before that, I think I took your plea. You were supposed to appear for sentencing. Actually, I didn't take your plea. Looks like it was taken by another judge. But anyway, you were supposed to appear for sentencing. You were supposed to do a PSI with the probation department. This was back in September 2023. And you don't do any of that. And I have to issue a bench warrant. Somehow or another, it looks like that may have gotten set aside in January. And then I adjourned your sentencing January 9th. We had to somehow or another find you from September to January. And then on January 9th of 2024, I adjourned your sentencing. It was adjourned by probation to January 24th, 2024. You show up on January 24th.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to pause it right here, but yeah, whatever. That's a YouTube thing. Gotta click the $sign down below, and that's where you can become a member. But while I am paused, thank you so much, Kimby, for being a member for 3 months. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Kimby. I appreciate it. Okay. And Mimi, so great to see you. Be safe driving. You can listen to us while you're driving. Don't stop chatting. Stop chatting.
And they give you a sentence. Relatively straightforward sentence. You were in custody at the time. And I laid out everything that you needed to do.
You are never invisible, Lisette. You are never invisible. So I don't know what you're talking about, but I see you. I see you. Also, thank you, MB, for the 8 months. That is awesome. You're one of the OGs. Thank you so much, MB.
That was in January. You really don't do anything on probation that I ordered you to do. So then you show up June 12th of this year on a violation of probation hearing. And at that time, and I think you were on Zoom, you were out. We told you the things that you were supposed to do or hadn't done and try to get corrected. And at that point, I kind of just sent a warning shot to you and told you, you got to do these things. And I ordered you and ordered only 10 days. And Ms. Polaro's trying to work with you too. I mean, we didn't order you serve the full time. We said, here are the things you haven't done. You need to get them accomplished. So I ordered 10 days in jail, gave you a specific day to report to probation on June 24th, 2024. Did you go?
I was in warrant status. I don't think I could have.
Oh, you could have.
You're right, for sure.
and then ordered you to become compliant with all the previous terms that I ordered. So I gave you another shot from January to that June day. The 10 days, because you were on Zoom, I told you exactly what I would do. I said you're to report by 6 p.m. that day, or I was going to issue a bench warrant without bond. You must have thought I was kidding.
No, Your Honor. Not.
Then why didn't you go?
I didn't make it by 6. I knew the deal could have been off the table, but I definitely was not thinking you was joking.
Why did you not turn yourself in then?
And I was.
You want me to give you another chance,
Please.
and you did nothing.
I could complete this probation. Promise.
What?
I can and will complete this probation, possibly, if possible.
You can't. You do what you want to do.
I'm gonna speak
When did you get picked up on this one?
about 20, if I'm not mistaken.
July 20th. Okay. So between June 12th, when I ordered you to report to the jail, and that day you got picked up, what were you doing to correct this?
I was trying to work, make sure I had some money, so if I had other bonds. But I do apologize, and I can't say this, Your Honor.
Here's my problem. You're apologizing because you got caught. You were, if those police had not come to your door that day, I still wouldn't be seeing you.
Yeah, I probably would have turned myself in still.
When?
That was all.
In the 45 days from the time that I ordered it to the time that you got picked up, at what point were you going to turn yourself in?
As soon as I had enough funds to take care of other cases that's holding me with no bonds and counties like tickets. And I was trying to be there for the mother of my child that's currently pregnant. I would have done my probation this whole time, but I had other warrants stopping me from doing my probation. I'm not going to say, yeah, I didn't. I'm not going to say I didn't turn myself in. It was other warrants, other cases that's stopping me from being best at what I can show y'all and doing my probation.
I've given you an opportunity to show me. I'm coming up on a year, and guess what? What have you done? Nothing.
All right, at this point, man, just say I'm sorry. Eat it. You got to eat it. You're not going to be Judge Simpson. And he's trying to talk himself out of this. You're not going to, man. Apologize. Get in front of it. Accept your blame. Judge will respect you a lot more. It may not change what he's about to do, but he's going to respect you a lot more if you do that. Because right now he already knows what he's going to do. Legal Fiction, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Welcome to the 10 new members. Legal Fiction, that is awesome. That is very generous. I appreciate it. And yes, 10 new members. Thank you so much. Speaking of which, Mayor is going to be live with me tomorrow night. Our very own Mayor McNome is going to be here in person with me tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cannot wait.
Nothing. And then you're gonna I try to give you at least a gentle nudge, and you still don't do anything. Nothing. You tell me one thing on this sentence that I gave you that you've done.
It was my first time.
Tell me one thing you did.
I checked in. It was hard. I mean, I did check in, do the non-report.
Why is it that you just can't say, Judge, I did nothing?
I did nothing.
Because I'm looking right at it. You did nothing.
You're right, Your Honor. You're right.
Everything with you is an excuse.
No excuses as a man. That's what I was taught. So I don't try to make excuses, honestly.
You've made excuses since the time you first started talking. Everything that's come out of your mouth is an excuse. sit here and I give you a chance to do it. We wait 6 months, correct something. Anybody that is on probation in my court, if, you know, and I feel bad sometimes for Miss Polera, but she doesn't mind doing it. If you're having problems, you'll walk in, you talk to her. But you wouldn't even do that. You thought this was a game. You thought when you looked me in the face on Zoom and I told you when to report that I was just kidding. Nothing that comes out of my mouth am I kidding. I told you to report. I told you when to be there. And I told you how long you'd be there. And I told you what I would do if you didn't report. And so you know there's a bench warrant out for you. Because at least you took me for real on that I was going to issue a bench warrant. So when the police show up, what do? You don't even say at that point, I got to deal with this. You take off running. Allegedly, I guess we'll say at this point. And where was that going to get you? Got you right here. And after all that, Mr. Cummings, you want me to believe anything that's coming out of your mouth that doesn't resemble an excuse.
I don't got no reason to be trying to have warrant statuses, and
You have no reason for any of this. Everything that has happened that's bad in this case is no one's fault but yours. And the problem is, had you gotten to your attorneys, had you gone through and you were truly going through doing something, hey, they would have helped you out. There's no doubt, Ms. Perrine or Ms. Pate, they would have been all over my coordinator's email, trying to figure out something to do. Quite frankly, even if you had at that point gotten to Ms. Polera, she would have been trying to do something.
I didn't want to be disrespectful. Nah,
Oh, too late. You disrespected everybody here. So don't even play that game with me that you don't want to be disrespectful. You intentionally were disrespectful. You intentionally thwarted my order. You intentionally then tried to hide and seclude yourself. You were disrespectful, allegedly, to the police when they showed up, told you you had a warrant, you take off. Every move you made has been just coated with disrespect to everybody involved in the process.
I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, calling my probation officer and not coming in to take care of the business. And I didn't even talk to the police or anything. They didn't tell me anything.
Okay. You had a warrant, you knew it, you took off.
You know what? That's a great point to make. And I was trying to find a place to pause because I've been playing it for too long before a pause. To a point, Allie, I agree with you. Now, she did her job to the best of her ability. He dug his own hole. This is the time where he gets to talk to the judge. So he's not making it worse on himself, but he's definitely not making it better. So he didn't do she probably read over the letter that he read, and Judge Simpson just started going off. She does not want to interrupt this because he's already committed the crime. He admitted to it. So her job is kind of done. So I don't know what she could say. Even if she said stop talking, the judge is still asking them questions, so she can't really do that. But yes, I do respect this attorney as well. She does a good job.
If I didn't have those two gentlemen behind you right now, you'd run off again. Every time. Yes, that's what you do.
I can't run.
What?
can't run. Yo.
You can't run?
I can't run. Never.
I know, because you kept running before. And that's why you're here right now. That's all that you've been doing. Doing nothing and running.
I haven't had the probation because I had warrants for other cases. I would be straight on track with probation to this day. It wasn't for the other warrants, Your Honor. I promise you.
So you're telling me you weren't doing probation because you had warrants? Yeah, why'd you have warrants?
That's the
Why'd you have warrants? Because you hadn't done what you were supposed to do before.
They wanted me to turn my all type of run. If I didn't have other warrants, I'd be straight on track with probation. Why would Miss Polera is a good lady? I know you don't try to be as hard as you do or want to be, but
oh, I don't, Mr. Cummings.
If I didn't have warrants, I would do everything I'm supposed to do. That's the quote of the night. We got to remember that. If I didn't have warrants, I would do everything I was supposed to do. Man, I don't even know where to go with that. I shouldn't be laughing out loud. I shouldn't be making fun of defendants. That's not what my channel's about. But come on, man, really?
I do not want to send you.
Y'all are not.
Mr. Cummings, I do not want to send you to jail. I do not like sending people to jail. I try to bend over backwards to give people the opportunity. When you need a nudge, and I may have to do a little bit of time, I do a little bit of time, trying to at least get your attention, get you back on track. All of those things, every one of them. I've tried with you. And you've done nothing. I don't even have anything in the sentence I gave you the beginning of this year. I have nothing that I could point to say you did or tried to do something. I have nothing.
That's what's off paper.
I have nothing.
Get it. I'm sure if it was
you could have Mr. Cummings, understand this. Your promises are no good to me. Your promises are no good.
Can I speak? Can I say one thing? I wouldn't have this warrant for probation if I didn't have the other warrants. That's how my probation. And I wasn't communicating with y'all or doing what I was supposed to do or should have been. But that's not me though. I've completed a probation before I could do and complete this.
You still got warrants.
I don't have no warrants. Everything. This is what I had to take care of. If it ain't a ticket, this is the only things I had to take care of.
Your Honor, I think he's referencing the domestic violence case that he did have a warrant for. But he
still does have a warrant out of 35th.
And he does have that drug license suspended out of.
You don't take care of business. I can't help you. I really can't. Anybody that walks through that door that tells me they want to do something, want to follow what we say, and try to work hard to try to change things, I'll help them. I know there's no two ways about it. And my entire staff, my probation staff, my staff, will help you do what you need to do. And I know your attorneys. If you had reached out to them, they would have helped you. You just didn't. You wanted to do it your way. And your way doesn't work. So now we're going to do it my way. And
that's not the prosecutor. That's the person that works with probation. I don't know. Is a probation agent? I don't know what her actual title is. That's Miss Polera. Miss Polera is a giant sweetheart. I had to put the privilege of meeting her in person when I visited there, and she was awesome. And yeah, so any and just watching her work in person, there's probably very few probation agents that's better than her at her job. She cares. So that's why Judge Simpson respects her so much. When you disrespect her, you're disrespecting the entire court, and he's gonna throw the book at you. Yeah, don't disrespect Miss Valera.
It's just gonna be harsh.
Chance to show y'all I will take care of this. I promise you not see me again. If it ain't to be getting released off of probation early or anything.
I'm going to waive the remaining terms, accept the defendant's financial obligations. I'm going to discharge him from probation without improvement. I'm going to order 365 days Washington County Jail. Credit for the 85 days that you served. Defendant will serve the balance. I will consider early release upon the completion of the MRT jail in-jail program. I will consider release. I don't know whether I will release you. But that's going to be the first step you're going to have to do. You don't want to do it? You got 290 days to figure it out. I'm done.
Yeah, I can do that. It's not relevant right now in the video, but I will send you a message because I know what you're referring to. All right, so that was the first one. Again, that happened last week when I was going through my videos to put together a video for tonight. I realized I haven't used that one. I was late on the draw. A lot of other channels were throwing it up, and I don't like putting out the same thing everyone else does right at the same time, unless I'm, one of the first couple people that do it. So I held on to it, and that was way too good not to share. Anyways, we're going to Judge Stevens' court to a defendant that's really hard to see. You're going to see why. But yeah, it's Judge Stevens. Judge Dad. Let's go. While we're in the middle, yep, no, I'm good. I'm all caught up. Making sure I didn't miss anybody, so I didn't have to pause it 10 seconds after I hit play.
Daylight. Calling them. You got room in the club.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was reading chat. Was he just discharged from probation without improvement? That just means essentially you didn't complete probation. So without improvement means you were given a list of things you had to do, you didn't do them. Now that can mean a bunch of different things when it comes to penalties. They could, the worst thing that happens is they could throw the whole sentence at you. They generally won't do that unless you violated it on purpose. They won't do that. Generally, if I've seen some, they will just do time served. The problem with releasing from probation without improvement is if the charges were going to be dismissed or dropped pending your probation, and you don't finish probation successfully, they may not be dropped. Doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. So that's pretty much what it means. So he's no longer on probation. He was terminated from it, and he's got to serve his jail time. Now that's what happened in that case, though. So all right, I hope that clarified it, Allie.
They call out there and tell everyone if they have any takes in here that they can come on in.
Go on. Who are you? What's your name?
Deontay
Do
Fonteno.
you recognize this man? He's your lawyer, Mr. Grove?
Yes, we spoke this morning.
What are we going to do?
Mr. Sonny, I just learned this morning that Mr. Fonteno was arrested on a new felony warrant within the last couple of days. And I don't know anything about the case.
Do we know what it is?
Well, Judge, we had it's an aggravated assault, I believe.
What was the bond on that?
It's an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The bond was $25,000. He was arrested on 7/15/24.
You posted a bond on that? You were arrested and you must have posted a $25,000 bond?
His mother
Where's their-
posted the bond, Judge. And she's
How old are
present.
you? How old are you? 18. Well, you're an adult. You're supposed to be handling your own responsibilities. Your mother's not supposed to be paying for your messes. You're an adult. You gotta grow up. So you also have this,
When this occurred,
this
Judge.
doesn't matter.
Yes, sir.
Once you're 17, you're held responsible as an adult for criminal law in Texas. Here in this case, this is having a prohibited weapon, a machine gun. What in the heck? You think? Okay. Well, give me that new charge. Let me see what that new charge is.
Judge, I have reason.
I believe it's Alaska. I think this is Alaska. I don't exactly know what state this is in, but I can see the American flag. And oh, what is that huge flag right next to it? Oh, you know what? This is Texas. No, you're right. I see the joke. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You guys are awesome. You know I'm joking.
Believe that the charges are connected.
But all I have is the arrest information. I don't have
Anything, any probable cause?
I won't have access to
No
that until
complaint?
it's indicted.
We don't have one yet. Not that I know of.
What's the date it's alleged to have occurred?
He was arrested on 7/15/24.
I know.
That's all I have.
Oh, but there was a crime alleged to have occurred on a certain date to trigger the arrest warrant. What's the bond on this 24 CR?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't Indonesia. I know that, but still not sure where the defendant is. I see a giant head that looks like it's in the jury box. Can't tell where this defendant is. I wonder if the judge could see him. I know that joke's getting old too. I need to come up with better jokes. But yeah, camo T-shirt to court, really. Even in Texas, that's a little strong.
281. Please. Nice.
50,000.
Okay, so on this prohibited weapon, this is a $60,000 bond. Is that right?
Yes.
On 281. Who posted the $60,000 bond for you? Somebody posted a bond and got you out of jail.
She hired the bondsman. Yeah.
Your mother did?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hold on, Judge. I might be. That might have been an old bond amount. Let me pull up the bond real quick because.
Judge, I tell you what, I've just found the new charge. It looks like it's going to go to grand jury next week, and we received a probable cause affidavit. Let me print that off for you.
It was a $100,000 bond on the prohibited weapon.
$100,000 bond.
Yes, copy of the bond.
Who posted this? Did you pay it?
Let me get some off the printer for you.
Did you pay this bond? Who did? Your mother posted $100,000 bond for you, a grown-up being in trouble? Your mother? When are you going to grow up and be independent and take care of your own responsibilities? She had to pay a ton of money. And that's only one. We got another warrant for you right now. You're about to be indicted again.
Again, Judge, he was a high school student.
So what? He's 18 years of age.
Not saying that makes any difference.
It doesn't. Doesn't. You have a job? Well, do you have a job right now? No. 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 Let's see what we got there. Okay. All right. Let's get all this straight here. You were charged with an indictment here in 24 CR 281 with a third-degree felony of having a prohibited weapon, namely converting a gun into a machine gun, which I know what's happening out there, which is so lawless and dangerous. It's crazy. But I know movies have made people.
Oh man, you're getting close. You're getting close. You're what? You're 10 hours from me. Are you driving straight through, or are you gonna rest a little bit? Hopefully you rest. Hopefully you rest, man. I am not gonna be up at 5 a.m. to let you in the door. I mean, if you call me 1,000 times, I might wake up, but just warning you. But you're making good time. Good to see you, Mayor. Good to see you.
I believe that this kind of thing is enjoyable and safe when it's not. But it's a crime. And so your mother posts your bond here on February 1st of this year. So you have an indictment in February. You were arrested on February 1st. It was indicted February 14th of this year. And so you have a $100,000 bond on this case. Now, looking at probable cause affidavit that's dated July 11th that alleges that you, on or about June 16th, 2024 at 3 a.m. at BJ's convenience store in Port Arthur, you committed the offense of shooting the complainant, causing serious bodily injury. So you were indicted and you had a bond posted and you were on a bond as of February. All bond conditions are the same. Don't commit any offenses. Begin with that. So here you are being charged with, I guess this is going to be attempted murder or aggravated assault.
Probably aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, Judge.
What's the bond on this one?
On the new case, Judge?
Yeah.
25,000.
No, not anymore. Your bonds are based upon the circumstances of the crime. You don't post a bond of $100,000 in a case involving a prohibited weapon. Later on, use a weapon and almost kill someone, cause serious bodily injury at 3 a.m, and then your bond is less. That defies logic. Your bond is $200,000 on the new case. Plus, you must have a GPS device. Plus, you will be on home confinement. You can't leave home except to go to the doctor for an emergency. Or if you have to go to school, to and from school in the most direct route possible. And that's the only time you leave home. Do you understand all of this is serious? I don't think you do, because you wouldn't have gone through this in the last few months free falling in behavior. This is terrible behavior. We made a big deal about it when we put you on bond in the first place. You know, people are serious, and someone, your mother, paid $100,000, $100,000 bond, not you, the responsible person, but her. Now she's going to have to pay another $200,000, which she probably doesn't have. But she probably needs all the money she can to run the house. Meanwhile, you're leaking money it's like she's got the boat and you're knocking holes in the bottom of the boat so it'll sink. What else?
Can I suggest that you consider the bond for the case that is filed in your court as opposed to the bond that has not yet been brought to the grand jury?
Yeah, well.
Based on a violation of your bond conditions.
But it will end up coming into this court.
Yes, sir.
Anyway because of the normal practice.
And it is scheduled to go to the grand jury next week for them to make a decision on that. However, I think the cleanest way is for you to.
So what I'm going to do until such time it formally comes into my court, the bond of $100,000 is $300,000 due to the new offense.
And that's in cause number 24 DCCR 0281.
It's 281.
Yes, sir.
24 CR 281. If and when it gets indicted, and he says it's going to go to the grand jury
Next week.
it will then fall into this court. But until that time, that's probably the right thing to do. Is it will increase. The bond is changed on that one, and then the other bond will continue to be the same on the probable cause affidavit of aggravated assault. So we've increased the bond to $300,000. You will be taken into custody, and those terms and conditions of bond, including house arrest, GPS device. Really? Do you make good grades in school? Let me just say that you're not acting wisely. Really? After you've been arrested, after there was a big deal about it, after your mother posted a bond, you're out at 3 a.m. shooting somebody? You're not, whatever it is you're doing in school, you're not listening or paying attention because you're supposed to get wiser and learn. You don't seem to be learning a lot in school. That's what school's there to help you make better decisions. These are poor decisions being made. You understand what has happened today, sir? That is all. You're taken into custody. Thank you.
Judge, could we have this case reset sometime reasonably after the grand jury considers?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Reset 3 weeks for review.
Yeah. 300,000. Good luck, Mom. You know he's calling her instantly. Mom, I need $20,000 more dollars. You remember that 10,000 you posted? I need 20,000 more. I don't know if he got a 10% provision on that. I don't know. Anyways, we had 2 rough cases in a row. You guys want to laugh a little bit? You guys want to have some fun in court? Let's have some fun. This last clip is out of Washington, and it's fun. Now, I was in this court watching because there was supposed to be a sovereign citizen show up. The sovereign citizen out of, Lake Park, something, Washington. He was supposed to be here. He didn't show up, but I was watching it. It was funny because there were only content creators or court YouTubers in this chat talking. So it was a fun time hanging out, and this guy showed up, and he made us all laugh, and I just want to share it with you guys because it's good. It's good. All right, yeah, let's go.
And then on Faye, Your Honor, that is cause number 2A009283. Mr. Faye is going to be pleading guilty to 1 count of driving while license suspended.
Yeah, Mayor, I'm not dropping that comment for like 5 minutes. That comment's just going to stay there. Just so you know, you're welcome.
In the 3rd degree and 1 count of violation of ignition interlock. And upon a finding of guilt to those 2 counts, the city will be moving to dismiss the failure to transfer title.
There's 2 counts on the infraction.
Yeah, there is a tracking infraction. 2A009282.
All right, and Lois, as I do this paperwork, do you have the first count as the third degree?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
The interlock is 2 and fail to transfer title is 3.
I'm just going to reorder it on the JNS. I think it just helps them keep that in order.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Fay, go ahead and activate your audio and video.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me? Our justice, and Miss Prosecutor, thank you for your time. I don't know how to work the video right now, but I can hear you, and I've been paying attention, and I've showed up on time.
Good for you, Mr. Fay. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to go over this plea form with you, okay?
Yes, Justice, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, so did you discuss the plea with Mr. Parent?
Yes, I did.
Did he read the form to you?
He did.
Okay, did you give him permission to sign your name?
Yes, and check the box too, the little box.
That's right. And Mr. Fay, are you 45 years old with an AA degree?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and I have here that you wish to enter a guilty plea to 2 counts, driving while your license was suspended in the 3rd degree and driving without ignition interlock device as required.
Yes, Justice, that's correct.
Okay. And did you understand the elements of those charges and what the city would have to prove to convict you? Oh, you're on mute. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Yes, Justice Grant. Yes, Prosecutor McDonald, Miss McDonald. I do understand this.
Okay.
And I have good news too. And thank you. And I want to tell you before anything that you guys say that Judge Howard, I've been working with him, unfortunately, for the past 8 years. And he told me that the law doesn't stop. And when he told me that, I thought he was full of malarkey. But it's real. And thank you for the education, because I'm almost 50 and I don't want this in my life. I have better things to do.
That's good. All right, so I'm going to just keep going on this form.
All right, I need to correct myself. I said, do you guys want to laugh a little bit? I didn't mean laugh. I meant smile. This defendant is charming, out of control. There may be an underlying MH issue, but he is loving life, and we're gonna love life with him. So that's what I should have said. Definitely shouldn't have said laughing, because but he has all 3 women on screen right now laughing, like smiling at him. And also not Justice. She's not a justice, she's a judge, but you gotta like those impromptu promotions.
On page 2.
Yes, Miss Justice.
On page 2, there's a list of constitutional rights that you waive when you enter a guilty plea. Did you understand you're giving up those rights and can't change your mind?
Yes, Justice.
Did you understand that what the city is asking the court to impose on your convictions?
Yes, I do.
Did you understand I can ignore that and impose up to the maximum?
Yes, Justice, I do.
Did you discuss with Mr. Parent that there could be consequences for being convicted of a crime if you're on probation or parole or not a citizen of the United States?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And has anyone made any threats or promises to make you plead guilty?
Negative, no.
Okay. What is your plea to the charge of driving while your license is suspended in the 3rd degree?
It would be guilty.
And what is your plea to driving without the required ignition interlock device?
It would be guilty as well.
Okay. Mr. Fay, there's a statement in paragraph 11. It says, on January 23rd, 2022, in the city of Lake Forest Park, Washington, I drove a motor vehicle at a time when the Washington Department of Licensing required me to have an ignition interlock device on any vehicle I drove. I did not have said device installed in my vehicle. My privilege to drive was suspended as a result of a DUI charge, and I had reason to know of the suspension and was eligible to reinstate. Is that a true statement, Mr. Fay?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Well, based upon your responses, I will find that you're making a knowing, voluntary, and intelligent waiver of your rights. I'll accept your plea of guilty. I'll find there's a factual basis to accept the plea, and I'll find you guilty of both counts. Driving while license suspended, 3rd degree in count 1, and operating a vehicle without an ignition interlock device. I will dismiss the failure to transfer title within 45 days. We can discuss the tracking infractions in a bit, but I want to hear from the city if there's anything that they wish to add to their sentence recommendation.
No, Your Honor, I believe it's in large part agreed, and we would ask that the court follow it.
Okay.
Defense would join in the request to follow the agreed recommendation, Your Honor. For Bluesina purposes, Mr. Fay isn't currently working. He is trying to get disability. While he primarily only supports himself, he has a daughter in college who sometimes requests and requires funds from him. So he's partially supporting her as well, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Fay, what about you? Is there anything you wish to say before I impose sentence?
Yes, Justice and Ms. Prosecutor, it has been it's been a learning experience. I'm sorry my video camera doesn't work, and I don't like to waste time because.
Hey, I've got one of those super cool dryers that have the top shelf, which just steam dries everything. So if your boots are still wet when you get here tomorrow, we'll take care of that. We will. Doesn't spin or anything. It just steams up from the dryer below. So I got you, man. I got you.
Because you guys' schooling takes up cases and cases and cases of how much time you guys spend in your life. And recently, and I'm in the Bothell. I went to Bothell, the court thing where you have to go there for 4 hours for a sentence, and I did that. And I met Rick, and he's a prosecutor as well.
He's a probation officer.
Oh, I'm sorry, probation officer.
It's okay.
Well, yeah, he's been working with me, and he gave me information that I have not had, and I wish I would have had it sooner. But it's about an individual case history, and he gave me that last week. We talked about my license, and then he gave me something about, he informed me that the Mr. Howard, Judge Howard, he's a good guy too. He told me that the DUI conviction hasn't been sent over until 9/16/24, and so I got the alcohol drug attestment. I got my citation number and what I have to pay for Bothell. So it's not that much. I have to install an ignition interlock device, obtain a main proof of insurance, and take a pass and knowledge driving exam. So when Mr. Howard said that the law doesn't stop, sure, back years and years ago, yeah, whatever. But I'm telling you, this is a very humbling and real piece of knowledge that I will share with the younger generation that think they're hot shit. Because I have a couple nice bicycles. I have a 1971 Schwinn. I'm sorry, it's a Raleigh, and I got a bus pass, and I call it my limo's the bus, and I just want to thank both of you, Ms. Prosecutor McDonald and Justice Grant. Thanks, and I'm gonna say the same thing when I go see Mr. Howard, because it's hard to be humbled, but when you are and you accept it, it's very educational, and that's about it.
Okay, well, I really appreciate your comments.
Yes, well, it's real, and I have learned, and it's a bad way to learn, but yes, Justice, I have, and I don't want to, and if anything, so you say, okay, 2 years, you can't get in no trouble, that's real as well, because I don't want to go, I'm almost 50, and I don't want to be down this road anymore. I mean, if I got to ride a bike until I'm 90, I will.
Okay, well, that's good. This
Yes,
is going to
ma'am.
give you a
Yes, sir.
chance to get your house in order here.
Yes, Justice.
All right. I'm going to impose the following sentence. You will be on probation for 2 years.
Yes.
And I will impose a fully suspended sentence, 90 days, with 90 days suspended,
Okay.
$1,000 fine, And based upon your financial situation, I will fully suspend that fine.
Yes.
For the ignition interlock device, 364 days in custody with all 364 days suspended. The $5,000 fine with all $5,000 suspended. I will run these counts concurrent with each other. During the next 2 years, you're not to drive unless you have a valid license and insurance. Do not commit any new criminal law violations. Do not drive without the ignition interlock device as required by the Department of Licensing. I will dismiss that count 3. And you wanted to mitigate the infractions that were tracking along here. It was expired registration and an insurance ticket. So let's talk about your situation there with those infractions, and you're on mute, Mr. Fay.
Oh, shucks, I'm sorry. I didn't know I had the insurance thing and the other one. I don't know what to do with them. Whatever you guys think is right and to do, then that's fine. Because I like I told you, and I'm sure you hear this, I'm not gonna get in trouble, and no problem. But I didn't get these bicycles and make them nice and make them work well just to show off to people, and it gets me in good shape, and my femur's getting better with my pelvis, and it's good exercise. So I and it's the Mr. Rick, the parole officer, he said that this is easy to get my license. So that's the only thing that's really hiccuping me is being driving without a license. So I mean, I'd be, and I've been told I'm a genius, but I'm not. But I mean, be an idiot if I'm not. I don't want to see you ladies again, even though it's been nice working with you and teaching me a life lesson. I'm serious. So, but whatever you think, I don't know about the insurance part, but whatever you.
Well, this is what I'm going to do on the insurance.
All right, yeah, this guy's incredibly charming, which is why I had to share it. He is like I really like this guy, and you know it's very refreshing listening to a defendant talk this way. I share a lot of court. I watch a lot of court, and you see people just being idiots. And this guy, even though he's cursed a few times, the judge didn't call him. No one called him out on that. But he has all 3 people on screen smiling at him. That this is the mark of a good charmer, and hopefully he uses that to his advantage, and hopefully he I hope he gets his license back, or maybe he can still use that what does he call it, the limo bus whatever. Yeah, I love it. I love every bit of this, and this all came because I was waiting for a sovereign citizen, which at the very end of this clip they all talk about the sovereign citizen that was supposed to show up, and it's hilarious. So that does come here in a second. A second. We still have about 5 minutes left of this. So yeah, let's go.
Insurance. I'm assuming you do not have insurance at this time.
Judge Meineke is Washington. He's the 44th district judge. He does a lot of sobriety courts, but he's been the judge that's been handling the Swiftie that I've been covering. So yeah, he's in Michigan, 44th district, Judge Meineke.
No, I don't. I don't have a vehicle. I don't write anything.
I'm going to reduce the insurance ticket from the $553. I will reduce it to $200.
Okay.
And I will reduce the expired registration to $100.
Okay.
So that's going to be $300 that is owing for the infractions.
Okay.
You can get on a time payment plan. You can go as low as $25 a month.
Yes, that would be good.
Okay. And we'll send that out to you for you to sign the time payment agreement. Do not forget about it because it'll go to collection.
No. You taught me that when I had then another thing when I had the ankle bracelet on, and then they said 5 days. I mean, I don't want to get in any more trouble, and I'm going to plan not to, when people say, I don't plan on getting in trouble. Well, I'm going to plan on not getting in trouble and be like a normal human. And if that say that ever does happen, I'm gonna make sure that they do their job right, because I said, can you send me an email after you send it over to the courts, and I'm leaving on a bus, and then all of a sudden, bam, you got to be on that, and they made a mistake, and so make sure that somebody tells those people over there, because that's a not good one, and I'm gonna
Oh, I
definitely.
know. I was very surprised about the whole
Yeah, me
situation.
too. I was like, oh no, man. So I'm gonna double check, because people do
But
make
I gave you a
mistakes.
chance. I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to have to get hooked up. You followed
No,
through. These are
yes,
things
ma'am.
that test your follow through, and you
Yes,
did not let me down. You're here today. You're taking responsibility.
yeah. And I
I
want to, because
good,
my name is valuable to me. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it, whether
good.
it's good or bad. And I want it to be all good from now on. And
All
then
right. Are your parents back in town, Mr. Fay?
they are, yes, ma'am.
Good. I know they give you a lot of assistance.
Yeah, and the people that are Mr. Rick, the parole officer, he
Uh-huh.
gave me the sheet right here. And so if this is done today, I just have Bothel's done. I only have Monroe. This sounds terrible, Monroe and Marysville, and that's it. And I mean, from my history, that this is only 2 courts, and that's really, I feel good about it. And I'm taking care of those. I have them written down on a calendar. It's the 6th, 7th, and the 8th of next week. I have Lake Forest Park is the 6th, the 7th is Monroe, and the 8th is Marysville.
Well,
So I said,
you don't have us anymore next week. That's canceled.
oh, okay. Well, it's still on my
Take it
list,
off
but
your
I'll
calendar. You just
copy that. Wow, I can take it off my calendar. Oh
yeah,
man,
you just gained 2 days of your life.
that's really wonderful. And I'm serious. Thank you for, Mr. Howard did teach me really well. And if you ever talk to him or run into him, tell him I said thank you.
Okay.
And Miss Tara too, Tara Foss. And I know it's terrible when you know the judges and the parole officers and but I want to know you guys, like, hey, I came over to your house and I'm done with the courts, and let's do some construction work. You want to remodel, that kind of knowing somebody, not like this kind of stuff. So, but thank you.
Okay, so Lois, can you tell me if the bond is still outstanding or does it need to be exonerated?
Let me look.
There was a $1,000 bond that was posted previously. I want to make sure that we deal with that if it hasn't already been addressed.
Sure, it was forfeited.
It was forfeited previously?
That's what I'm showing.
Okay, I see that.
Let me make sure. Let me go back into the case just a moment.
Hmm.
What date did you issue the? Do you have a date when you issued it, Judge?
All right, I think we can do our final pause now. Let's see, we're at 55 minutes. I can double check how long this video is. 57. So 2 more minutes. All right, almost exactly 2 minutes. Yeah, this isn't Michigan. I maybe I haven't been following along in the chat, but yeah, this isn't Michigan. This is Washington. So maybe, like I said, maybe I'm not paying attention to the chat and what's going on. But yeah, this isn't Michigan. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Let's see who we're gonna raid. You guys want to raid tonight? Let's see, who do we got? Jen says upcoming. Wasn't she supposed to start at 9? I'm gonna double check. I'm gonna refresh. I'm gonna double check to see. Maybe my list just hasn't updated yet, but yeah. So that's probably where we're gonna go. Is Jen Hardy's show. Anyways, the rest of this is still pretty good. They're gonna talk about the sovereign citizen that did not show up today, And they're also going to say some very nice compliments about this guy after he logs off. But it's one of those conversations that you don't usually see between a judge, a prosecutor, a defense attorney, because they generally shut off the live chat, but they keep it on a little bit longer than normal, so we get to see the fun conversation at the end. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to attempt to raid Jen if she has started by now, or by the time this ends. So that's most likely where we're going. If she doesn't go live by the time we're done, or if my computer is glitching, you know what? I'm rambling. You guys are awesome. Have a great night. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the gifted memberships and the membership milestones. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you haven't, yeah, that's all I got. And until next time, bye.
The bond was posted in 2022 by Aladdin. 8/1/2022. I see that there was a June 5th. It looks like it was forfeited. I just want to confirm that.
Oh, I see the posting. Okay, now I can go. Yeah, I'm reasonably sure that it was forfeited.
Okay. All right. Then it doesn't look like we have anything to address on that. We have handled all of our cases for the afternoon. It was a big calendar. We've taken Miss McDonald almost to bedtime at her house. So she spent the entire day with us. You can hang up, Mr. Fay. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, and I don't want to see you ladies again, but thank you for the education.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
Safe riding out there.
Yeah,
Bad
bye.
drivers.
I will bye.
He's a character.
I like
Oh
that.
my God.
Justice Grant.
I know. I was like, oh, promoted. Congratulations.
I was surprised that we didn't wind up with any trials.
I'm
Me too.
Given the size of that. Although I think if Mr. Schuster would have shown up, I imagine that probably would have gotten set.
All right, I had to pause it one more time. Mr. Schuster was the soft sit that I was waiting for. It wasn't just me. There were three or four other law tubers in the side chat waiting for Mr. Schuster, and we were having fun. We were having fun and loving this guy. But yeah. Anyways, look at the defense attorney. Look at her look. my pauses are sometimes awesome. All right, now I'm out. I refresh my redirect, and we are going to Jen. It is confirmed. It is saved. So everyone go tell Jen Hardy I sent you and tell her I said hello. All right, until next time, bye.
So Kat would have had so much fun with that.
Oh, this is gonna be really exciting. Goodwin and Pico and Schuster is gonna be awesome.
Oh dear. All right. Well, that's good. So
yes. All right. So see you Wednesday.